Loella Haskew, and it is my honor to be the mayor of Walnut Creek. When I was rotated in as this year's mayor, I looked forward to a year of great things coming to our city. The last thing I thought we'd be coping with is a pandemic and a whole new form of living to beat this ugly disease. This is absolutely a difficult time for everyone. What has amazed me is how much my motto applies to our community. Walnut Creek is working together to get through so far and for however long this crisis is going to last. It was just days after the shelter-in-place order was issued that I started to see people stepping up in my own neighborhood and then on next door volunteering to help their neighbors who might be housebound and unable to go shopping for groceries or to get their medicines. It absolutely warms my heart to hear about caravans of cars driving by in celebrations with the riders waving and honking horns to respect our new social distancing requirements. The sidewalk chalk messages to our first responders, our medical community, and all our essential workers show that there are more ways to communicate than just the same old, same old. Even we older people have reluctantly opened to social media and apps like FaceTime and Skype. We have all had to adjust to each other's procedures, especially keeping social distance from everyone. In fact, the issue of failure to maintain social distance has been the source of most of the calls to City Hall. One of the larger groups of the public to ignore the rule is our youth. Most of our young folks are taking this seriously, but it is hard to remember to stay socially distant, especially when you haven't seen your friends in a while. Maybe we need to remind them that they are the generation of social media, and this is the time to use your Instagram or TikTok skills to the max. We've all had to adapt constantly to changing rules and conditions. This message has been recorded on April 2nd, just 2 days after the revised shelter-in-place regulations have been tightened. As of now, it looks like we'll be living in this new reality until May 3rd. These rules come down from the federal, state, and county governments. The city of Walnut Creek, just like you, must adopt to these complicated changes. And also, just like you, not all these changes are easy. All businesses, including the city, are under orders to move as much of the staff as possible to do their work remotely. It can't always be done remotely, and then the decision has to be made about whether or not the work is essential. The city has lots of fantastic employees doing important work, but not all can stay on the job. Things that our citizens have come to expect as the Walnut Creek standard cannot be done right now, and we are trying to find ways to ease or avoid any difficulties for our citizens. Our Arts and Rec department has been remarkably resilient given that almost all of its activities have been shut down. Check the website to make sure that you see what are the virtual possibilities for Arts and Rec. Public Works, our largest and most active department, has been impacted because so much of their work can be postponed until after the crisis is past. Still, those workers are responsible to maintain the safety of our community, so they're available to remediate any dangerous situations. Please let us know if there is any issue when conditions put public safety at risk. Speaking of public safety, the police department is, as you guessed, an essential service, and it too has made significant changes to how it operates during this crisis. They are making sure that more officers are on patrol and have pulled from what would be their normal assignments to put them on patrol so that there is an increased police presence throughout the city. Even the council has to make changes. I presided over our first ever teleconferenced council meeting in March to ratify the proclamation of local emergency. As alien as that venue is, it looks like that's how we're going to conduct our future meetings until we can get back to the council chamber and meet face to face. A regular meeting is still open and public input is encouraged. If you have something that you want to bring forward to the council, you can't go to City Hall. The new procedures on how to communicate with the council at a meeting are available on the city's website. By the way, walnut-creek.org is a great source of updates on COVID-19 impacts. You can find the answers to so many of your questions regarding the creative ways the city has adapted to keep our operations to serve Walnut Creek's residents and economy. We are all scared. Let me assure you that the council and the staff of Walnut Creek are doing everything we can to keep our city safe. Our prudent fiscal policies have put us in a much stronger position than other cities in our region. We're working to find good ways to keep our community aware of businesses that are open and need our patronage. We very much appreciate and rejoice in how so many of our citizens have accepted the shelter-in-place and social distancing sacrifices and still have managed to do kindnesses to each other. That inspires us. Please stay safe and be healthy. Walnut Creek continues to work together, and each of you makes it happen.